episode 4 with Behind the Whistle. Today we got a special guest, our boy Charles Hughes, aka Chocolate Thunder. What up, big dog? What up?
What up?
Hey. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man. Introduce yourself a little bit. Let everybody know what you about. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
and all that.
Charles Chocolate Thunder Hughes, president of the Greater Pasco Hurricanes, located in Western Pasco, Florida. Love football, love kids, love the politics about football, and glad to be here with you guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. What you got for us, Barrio?
Glad you made it.
So Charles, we've been wanting to have you on because you're a great personality and you've been around the league for a little bit. So can you tell us kind of how you came into football and then how you became the president of the Greater Pasco Hurricanes?
I started youth football in Ohio, and the youth football league I played in Ohio was a weighted league. So I was always on the offensive line. Thought I was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Thought I could play corner. I was on the offensive line. So being on the offensive line, I learned how to. I think that was the first time I learned to sacrifice that the team is more important than the individual. And the neighborhood I grew up in, youth football was a one-way ticket out. So once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to run the ball or I wasn't going to be able to touch the ball in the league, I decided to focus on my craft on being the best lineman I could possibly be.
Wow.
And it was great. It was awesome. I think my biggest downfall in youth football is I didn't have the supporting cast to push me further, and I didn't have the drive to want to be better because I didn't understand it. Yeah. So
I can relate to that.
Football was always a drive for me. One thing different about Florida and Ohio, there's freshman sports. So like a 14-year-old kid going into high school plays on his freshman team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When it came time to play freshman football, because I didn't have nobody pushing me, I thought it would be better to hang out with the homies.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Cool guy, huh?
listen, if there was one thing I regret not playing football all the way through high school. For the simple fact is, I loved the game. I understood the game. I saw the game. How I became the president of the Hurricanes, it was kind of just dropped on my lap, and I was approached to take over for the Hurricanes, or the team was going to be taken over by the league. Yeah. So I don't know how they knew me. I don't know how they thought I was a guy for the job. I don't even know how my name was thrown in the bucket, but it just came up like that. I was the guy for the job, and I went home and I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it, because at first I didn't want to do it. It's time consuming. Like, I don't want that pressure. I got enough stuff going on. Then at the end of the day, the only thing I kept coming up with was, it's about the kids. It's not about me. It's not about what I want to do. It's about the kids. And I wanted the families in that organization to have a familiar face that they can approach instead of approaching a random. So that's how I ended up with the Hurricanes, and here we go.
Been killing it.
Here we go.
I remember when you were with the Wolverines, man, and a couple games we played against you guys. It was a battle, especially during springtime.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I think Charles was actually one of the first ones that gave us any respect.
Yeah, I'm about to say, now I was gonna throw in the it was always been love, like since Wolverine days, like anytime we did come in contact with you, like it was always
cool, always respect.
Yeah, because you know what? I was always taught that you give people their flowers in a moment. Like it don't mean nothing if you're giving somebody their flowers when they can't properly receive them. Yeah. So like you give credit when credit's due. You give people their flowers in a moment, and when somebody's doing something right, you let them know. Mm-hmm. Like it's the reverse side of like when you might have a disagreement with your wife or your girlfriend, or she brings something to your attention 2 weeks later that bothers her. At that point, it's irrelevant. Yeah. So you stay in the moment. So in the moment, you give people their flowers. Like, hey, what you guys are doing, like, I see it. And there's no jealousy and there's no hater. Because if you're doing something right, I want you to give me the game on what you're doing so I can incorporate that and I can do what I can make myself better. You know what I'm saying? Synergy is when you take two people, you take your energy, my energy, you create a better energy. And that's just how I see things.
No, that's beautiful, man. I 100% agree with that because I'm real big on that. Like, just because I see you doing something good, that doesn't mean I'm mad that you're doing something good. That makes that instantly hits a switch in my head. Like, oh, that's what we can do.
Right.
Oh, that's possible. You know what I'm saying? So that it always inspires me when I see other people doing stuff that I potentially might want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to hate on, hey, I see you, you did it like this. Well, I might not do it like that, but I'm still going, we still going this way though.
Right.
You know, I see you. I see you. I might use a little bit
Put
of
my own
flavor,
little spin on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I mean, that's awesome. And we try to do the same thing too, which is obviously why we got you over here. We love what you're doing out there at Greater Pasco. Like I told you earlier, you know what I'm saying? We see all that good stuff, man, and it's awesome. Every time we play y'all, we always got we get a battle from every age group, up and down. It's always fun.
It's
man.
love, man.
And it makes it fun. It makes the environment fun. It shows
It's love.
Shows the kids how it's supposed to be. You can be a little hype, you can have a little trap,
Right.
have a little something and shake hands afterwards.
It's friendly.
And then
Right.
go play football with each other when you're done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the cool part. Every time our organizations meet up, there's never no weird stuff. You can tell it's really about football. A bunch of people that love football.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, there's always good camaraderie, especially after the game.
Yeah.
Even no matter how it goes, they're always dapping up on the sideline and just talking about how it went. So yeah.
I will say one thing that I noticed about your org, Charles, is like when players. This is like a big thing for me too, and I know I've talked to Sherm and Jeff and Mike about this. Like when a player from an opposing team is hurt, like I would see your coaches come on field to check for him.
Yes.
Like
yes.
I can't tell you how many times where I've seen a player hurt or down who's closer to the opposing sideline and they just walk over him like he's a piece of trash. That's what I'm saying. So is a classy organization that you're running over there, man.
Hey, I appreciate that because when a kid's down the field or in a situation like that's not a Valrico kid. Like that's a kid,
Right.
That's what you know what I'm saying.
100%.
Like
the little kid. Man.
like his parents are in the stands concerned.
Yeah.
Like we're playing a violent game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? A beautiful game. So anytime an adult makes it bigger, make it about them, and it's bigger than the kid on the field, then they need to question like what are you really here for?
Yeah.
Right.
So it should always be about the kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, you keep that first, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You know
Well
what I
said.
mean?
Well said. Well said.
Maintain
That's right. Like that. Yeah. So Charles, so you being involved in football and seeing it on the youth level and then going into high school and everything, what would you say is some of the problems that you see at the youth level that really need to be addressed?
All right, listen. Let's get these gloves off. Let's go. All right.
Let's see if we have similar views.
Obviously, the parents, but that's an issue. But to a certain extent, that's a controllable issue. I think one of the biggest issue, in my opinion, in youth football is reality. What's really the truth? Okay.
Right.
Is your 8-year-old kid great because he's destined for greatness? Or is he great because he's playing with other 8-year-old kids who haven't caught up yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that kid being developed correctly? Is he being developed correctly fundamentally that when he takes the field, he's retaining that knowledge to play the game the right way?
Yes.
Okay.
The next level.
The biggest problem in youth football at 8, 9, 10, 11, that kid is good. He's a great football player. And all of us have been around the game long enough that you know when a kid's going to be great. But still at 8, 9, 10, or 11, Nick Saban's not walking in your living room.
At all.
Prime ain't walking in your
Yeah.
living room
Oh,
tomorrow.
man. They're not waiting in the parking lot.
Let that kid be a kid.
Right.
Let that kid play the game with his friends. And let him love the game. Coaches, parents, people in the stands, and critics rob these kids of the purest passion of football.
Yeah.
They take that from them. That pressure they put on them. And I realized that, hey, Charles, when your own kid, you were part of the problem. When your kid gets in the car and the first thing he says to you is, "Hey, Dad, did I do a good job today? Where did I messed up? Are you upset that I missed that block?" I'm like, bro, y'all just won a game that came down to the last drive of the game. That's what you're worried about?
Yeah, it's bigger than that missed block.
So then I realized, like, hey, that's not him. That's the environment that I'm creating for him.
Yeah.
For him, that's the land that I'm laying, where he thinks that my expectations is what matters.
Yeah.
Instead of him going out there having fun, eating a couple hot dogs, playing football with the kids from the other organizations, then falling asleep on the car ride home.
Yeah. That part, man. That's a beautiful picture you just painted right there, man. That's what it's supposed to
It
be.
is. I'm about to say that
what it's
first.
That's what it's supposed to be. In its most simplest form, that's really what all this is supposed to be about.
Right.
You know, and we as a society in general and this youth football thing tend to take it a little too serious. You know what I'm saying? Just a little. What'd you say, sir? They ain't going to
They're
NFL
going to
tomorrow.
leave tomorrow, but
You know what I mean? They're not getting drafted tomorrow.
Right.
Guys.
No.
Everybody relax.
they already been drafted through. Already went first
Yeah,
round.
Number one quarterback.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they jumping in the
Jumping
portal.
in the
Yeah,
At
they,
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man, I feel you.
they
Though.
can go play in the Super Bowl tomorrow. This Sunday.
Promised all sorts of things.
Oh man,
All sorts of
they got that
things.
contract in the car, sure, you know.
Yeah.
That's crazy
That
work.
was well said though.
Yeah.
That boy did just paint a picture though.
Hey, but look,
I was with him. I was like,
Because I seen that
man,
before.
because
like, dang, but I done did that.
But he
Elwood,
kinda-
Elwood
he-
running around playing football on the way home, passed out.
Just done.
Yeah, but he reiterated exactly what we were saying. Like, the biggest problem is the parents.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the biggest problem. Like,
Manage
they
your
drive them there.
expectations.
They drive them there. They complain to the coaches. They complain about playing time. It's never just an organic, natural process. Like, I mean, he just reconfirmed everything that we were saying before. You know, so. But yeah, I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about. At the end of the day, you know, as long as they're learning the game, being competitive, and really, it's just that brotherhood, like what we talked about last episode. Like just having that brotherhood, like coming from different aspects of life, and then coming together over a sport and like being there for each other. You know what I'm saying? So outside of your
Yeah,
own.
and really
your own
caring
thing,
for
yeah.
that person, not just
Right,
oh, I
right.
just see you every day. No,
I mean, I can't
we
say
line
like
up Saturday and go do violent things to each other. That's my boy right there.
right.
Right.
I mean, I can honestly say like you know when you're on the field and then you see a player who's maybe not that good, right, and he gets knocked down, and then they're like, oh, that's one of ours, man. We gotta get
Yeah.
a lick back.
Yeah,
you
straight
know,
up.
and then next thing you know, you'll see him blow up a block or get a penalty, and you're like, that penalty was probably worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hey.
When they start getting when you see the boys start getting upset, I mean, that's our friend they just hurt like that. Nah, man, nah. And you start seeing them get like, okay, y'all got a little something, y'all got a little chemistry.
Right.
I think that's another problem too is, to be 100% blunt and honest, is all the team hopping going around. Like we're not putting these kids together and leaving them together to grow and to have that chemistry and to learn how to play with each other. You know, like that's the thing I think we did very well is we had the same core kids since 6U.
Right.
These boys have literally grown up with each other playing football.
Right.
From 6 to 12. Right? Like what we count 19 kids. We got the same 19 kids that
I
come
think
back.
it's actually up to like 22 now.
Yeah, the same 22 kids that come back every season.
That's dope.
Like just before, hey, where's it at?
Like 19 something.
You know,
once
somewhere
I
in
move
there.
up,
You know what I'm
also,
saying?
it's
Something
like,
like that.
I mean, I guess so. 'Cause you got some that just been here for like 3 years now, 2 years.
You know, but we
So,
keep them.
yeah,
we
yeah.
do put a
Yeah, I
big
guess so.
emphasis on keeping that group together. Like that's how ultimately, if you really want a good team,
Yeah, that's how I go.
that's what you got to do.
That's how you beat them, man.
know.
That's how you beat them.
I mean, the piggyback off what you said, you keep those kids together. They start a youth football. Then those same core groups end up at the same high school.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
no.
and then that's where that what you call a championship organization mentality. Most organizations have a championship year to year to year. Oh, my 10U team's going to pop this year. They're a championship team. So they're creating a championship culture for 1 year instead of creating a championship organization where, when you were 8 or 9, you couldn't block the man in front of you who's blindfolded.
Yeah.
But as you stick with it, you know your coaches, you know the guy next to you. They understand your weaknesses and what you need to do better. You got people who constantly are talking to you, who believe in you. Now we're talking about a kid 3 years down the line who's cleaning everything up.
Yep.
And you're like, and it's a win. It's that moment for a coach where you're sitting there and you're like, you remember when he couldn't block nothing. Now look at him now.
This is what I seen 3 years ago.
That's gratifying.
That's what it's about.
The evolution. Yeah.
That's
Hey,
gratifying.
You made a point I wanted to ask you a question about when you mentioned like the parents and you said it was like that's to an extent it's controllable. So how do you set that culture with parents, like what that accountability looks like as far as giving that reality check without offending them and without running them off, but being real when like, hey, he's not there yet, but this is our plan. Giving like, what does that accountability look like?
That's tough.
I think the first thing is like it has to come from a conversation. It has to come from respect because you're talking to somebody about their kids.
Nobody want to
They ain't playing by them. Yeah.
Right, and you know, like, well, you're like, and you can have the best intent in the world, but it is easy for somebody. Let's take a parent who is defensive. So no matter what, how you approach them, their first reaction is going to be defensive. Okay, you got to let them know, like, hey, I'm here for the same reason you're here. Okay, you brought your kid out here to get better, to play football, maybe to burn energy, to get out the house so they're not on the tablet or YouTube. Okay, I'm out here to get your kid ready for life.
Yeah.
Football is life. Showing up to practice on time. That's a life concept.
Yes, sir.
You know, you got a $100,000 business deal on the table. You show up late to that business deal, they're going to go to your competitor. You just lost $100,000 in your job.
Yeah.
Those are things that are taught at a young age because at that age,
That mentality.
they retain those things. So I'm not here to teach you how to be a parent. I'm not here to tell you how good your kid is or how sorry your kid is. I'm here to be that village. It takes a village to raise a child. So when you bring your kid to our football organization, understand you're bringing your kid to a village of accountability. You hold me accountable as a coach. If I lose, you let me know.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, if your your kid's not playing enough, you let me know.
Oh man.
So true.
Okay, if you think your kid's a better running back than that kid over there because you see what he can do at home in the backyard, you let me know.
Yep.
So because I let you bring that energy, okay, you have to let me bring the energy to make your kid better, and you have to make yourself approachable because I'm not above telling you like, hey, your kid will play football here. Your kid will have a good time here. You will show up every week and watch the game on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
Okay, because what's going to eventually happen is, it's like that friend you know who has a new job every 3 or 4 months. What's going to happen, bro? This town's only so big. You ain't going to have nowhere to work. So you're going to hop from org to org to org, and the reputation is going to get about not your kid being great. Yeah. That kid is great, but you don't want to deal with that parent. And eventually you don't have nowhere to take your kid.
Yeah.
So who are you punishing? You're not punishing me. You're punishing your kid. So if your number one goal is always to put your kid first and take care of your kid, hey, let your kid be a kid. Let your kid be developed and get out the way.
Yep. I like that. Get out of the way.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
Hey, boy.
Get
Hey,
the
but
way.
they will out of Georgia now though. But they'll find a spot now. But yeah, they'll go find something now.
Yeah, they will, but that's also the same parent who's posting about their kid getting invited to elite camp that they actually paid $1,000 for their kid to go to because they weren't really invited. So is that a golden ticket or is that a bronze ticket? Because they got bronze written all over me. Don't let that camera angle and that light fool you.
Oh, man.
Like, hey,
there's a lot of putting on for the social media.
There is.
100%.
You jumped straight to Georgia and skipped over Orlando, Jacksonville.
Yeah, hey, they gonna. Yeah, I'm just saying
Right
they
over
go to the next state. All I'm saying, they go to the next state.
That's a little
But
too close to reality if we say Orlando. Because there's a bunch of people right now driving from Tampa to Orlando right now. Going
That's
to
just
practice.
insane to me. That's insane to me.
Yeah. 30. I got 30 minutes. That's the most understandable. 30 minutes, bro. If I can't get to where we gotta go in 30 minutes, we ain't going there every day.
yeah, we ain't talking.
You know what I'm saying?
Charles, I got a question for you, man. Since you've been around like the Tampa area for a little bit,
That's with traffic.
the differences between like Tri-County, Pop, and Florida Elite. There's so much like trash talking about how sorry Pop is or how the other two would smoke us. Like you being on both sides of that, like what would you say is the biggest differences between how the orgs ran and then how competitive the teams are?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. There's okay.
Take your breath down. Take your
Yeah. Some of these leagues are built for the now. Okay. I look at an org, I look at leagues and like Pop Warner. They remind me of football. For the most part, that's being developed from the ground up the right way. For a simple fact is like, hey, my organization back in Ohio has been around 50 years.
Yeah.
They're still there. They're still the McKinley Broncos.
Gotta be doing something.
Right. They're doing something right. A lot of these organizations, like they will put a championship team together now. Coaches are on the same page. The org's not on the same page. They got dogs out there. You gotta walk through the trap to get to the game.
Some Jeezy playing in the background.
Like, but what they fail to realize is it's still football. Well, the Florida Elite, it's Tri-County, it's Pop. You put your pants on the same way they put their pants on, and it boils down to like, in my opinion, development and coaching. Yeah. So they talk about what Pop Warner can't do this, or you guys are soft and you can't do that. So you mean to tell me that every team in your org can line up on any given day and smoke a team in a Pop Warner org from top to bottom? The answer is no. You might have one team up top that might be great, that, you know what I'm saying, that you're hanging everything on. We're the cha-cha slide boys, and we're gonna slide through everything 2 hops this time. You know what I'm saying? Cha-cha slide boys. Hey, and that's who your org is.
Hey, we might be that this year, matter of fact. Not Charles, but we might be the cha-cha boys this year.
But that's what you're making your whole org on. Now, a Pop org, they'll have an 8U team that'll give you a game. Their 10U team will beat you. The 12U team will give you a game. The 14U team will beat you. Yeah. That's balanced top to bottom. So what does that say to me? That says like, hey, we were close this year. I'm going back there to get better with my guys. Instead of, oh man, we lost on this team I was supposed to be on. Breaking news.
Transfer portal.
I'm transferring. And so was my cousin, my auntie, and the lady who makes the plates every week. She's part of the deal.
Committed. Brand new $50 flyer.
The plate lady.
Come on, man.
Oh man.
That's wild.
So let's piggyback off of that a little bit. So what are you really teaching these kids? You're teaching them, you know what I'm saying, that nothing's earned, everything's given. You're teaching them, we live in a what have you done for me lately world. Are you gonna remember what I did for you last year, or are you gonna remember what I did for you last week? That's what you're teaching these kids. So I think, and that's not. Let me say this. I'm not knocking Florida Elite Tri-County. I'm not knocking that. There's good coaches, there's good players, there's good teams, but overall,
As a whole.
when your MO is to get on and knock another league, or when your MO is to throw dirt on somebody else's flowers, like that says everything I need to know about you.
Yeah.
You know, like if your Florida League team is in my backyard and you guys are playing for a national championship, as a Pop Warner organization, I'm going to go on your page and I'm going to wish you guys luck for my organization because I want to see you guys win for our area.
That part, yeah.
Now, when a team from our area makes it to the Pop National Championship, y'all couldn't do that in Florida Elite though.
Yep.
Y'all got to do that in Pop.
Yeah.
Bro, your superstar kid is going to play with my superstar kid, and hopefully one day they lead the same high schools to a state championship. You ain't got a problem with that, though.
Yeah. Yeah. They good enough then, huh?
Just a different experience. Yeah.
I think it's the structure though. Like everybody talk about Pop Warner, but Pop Warner, like for the most part, hold people accountable and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a standard still like to be Pop Warner in the, you know what I'm saying, in the sense like the Florida leagues, the Tri-Counties, you know what I'm saying, they could be more loose. You know what I'm saying? So all of like a preference thing.
Yeah, because leagues like that, they operate in a gray area.
Yeah.
So when you operate in a gray area, you're asking for it. Okay? Because this Saturday it's a rule and this is how it's going to go, but next Saturday is not. Then next thing you know, you got good old fashioned fisticuffs over a rule that was played in the gray area that you cheated me and no, you cheated me. No, you cheated yourself by not being black and white about everything, by not setting the standard of what the rules are going to be.
Yeah.
So if I go in and break a rule and I knew that was a rule and that rule has been beaten to my head in meetings and meetings and meetings that has been reminded to me again on a weekly call or something, then I get one more reminder from a referee before a game. If that rule is broken, that's on me because I know about it, because it's been made clear. So, and to be honest, the proof speaks for itself because every year you hear this. Every year you hear this. There's more kids in the league from Pop Warner than any other league. Period.
I hear that all the time.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Like, and you hit it on the head about accountability, and I remember from just even the process of like, cause my kid was in like a Florida Elite team in Sarasota, but just the process of having to join the team and the paperwork and the vetting process, the grades got to be on point. All of the rules we had to be aware of, and I'm like, okay, the barrier to entry is a lot higher, so you weed out a lot of the BS. And that's honestly, that's what I would say, man. Like when you look at Florida Elite and you look at Pop Warner, it may look like it's more talent, but it's like it's the same. Like the coaches, it's like the barrier to entry to be a coach over there is so low. You kind of got. Like I go ahead and say it, like you just got a lot of street dudes coaching.
Well, the state of Florida is getting ready to fix that for them.
Yeah.
Kids ain't getting no structure. They ain't
Type
getting
2
no
now.
game.
Yeah.
And you need that, man. You need that structure.
Yeah.
You don't want just anybody coaching your kids.
Nah, nope.
And what you said, that was a great point. Like I was gonna ask, like, man, when you look at, because a lot of kids in Florida Elite be good. They be good at that level because it ain't no structure. But it's like, what do they do at the next level? Do they keep track on like, okay, how do they transition to high school, in college? I would think more Pop Warner kids because it's more structure. So that's a great point.
My thing too is like with the competition side of it. I mean, we've all seen it. Like once you get out of your region and you play some of these other teams, like from Miami, and there's some teams from like Chicago, and I think someplace in Indiana. The teams don't play. Like the competition's there. It's just a lot of times you might not see it until you get outside of your region. Yeah. So that's like whenever we've had coaches coach here during the spring, and you're like, oh, I want to stay with a particular league or whatever, and I'm like, well, what are they offering you? Like, because I'm always interested. Like being a president here, like what are they offering you that we don't have? I don't know if you dealt with this, but I'm always curious. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we just we want to win rings. That's what I hear all the time. I was like, well, you can win a ring here too. It's just harder to get. You must just want the easy way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, no, the teams we play, they're not easy. I was like, I'm not saying that. I was like, but you, like, for example, no shots at Tri-County, whatever. I know a lot of kids in the area play for Tri-County. you guys play the same teams. It's literally Tri-County, right? That's who you're playing. You're not playing somebody from Miami. You're not playing somebody from Jacksonville or First Coast or Indiana or Chicago. You're not playing that. You want to say you a national champion? To me, like, Pop Warner's the only route you can go.
Yeah.
If you want to say a national champion.
They ain't playing somebody 60 miles away though.
I mean, you know, like, and I get that they travel and stuff too like that, but like I said, like what you play in Georgia, you know, maybe some teams from Texas, but their championship is based in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I say to anyone that was be on the cusp that might be watching this, like, give Pop a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like the team, you know, we've seen it. Go find you another team. But like at the end of the day, you can't say there's no comp here because once you get outside your region, there's comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's comp right here though. That's the thing though. They just talking. Sound good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just I'm
The
always
only
here.
area that got like that crazy competition is that Miami area. That's just, I don't know what it is in the water, but outside of that, for the most part, all the other state, all over the state, the talent pretty neutral. Like, you're gonna play good teams in Orlando. You're gonna have good teams in Tampa, down in that Sarasota, Bradenton area, Jacksonville. All those areas play ball. Like, outside of, like, if you ain't going down and play Miami every other week, we all playing the same talent anyway. So I think parents be living through their kids a little too much.
Yeah.
That's
Amen
really
to
what it
that.
comes down to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
100%.
No, but yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know if you do it that, Charles, but like, yeah, we'll have some people who show up for spring and stuff like that, and they say, "Oh, we only play in spring," and that's fine. You know, we'll entertain it. But I'm always curious as to what the other leagues have that we don't offer. And you know, Sherm had to give it to me clear one time. He said some people just like what they like.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it be.
Doesn't matter what you offer the kids, what you give the kids, the experience. Because my biggest thing is when we took over here, you know, we wanted to give the kids an experience. Like, I know a lot of the kids, they're not gonna play. Some of them ain't even gonna play football in high school. Like, this is probably the only football that they're ever gonna touch. So we wanted to make it like a game day experience all the time. Like, that's why we did the tunnel, and that's why we do the announcements, and that's why we try to get, you know, decent uniforms to make you feel like that NFL player just for one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what it feels like just one day to have that. And I don't know, like, sometimes a lot of stuff I hear about some of the other ones is just like, hey, you know, you get your 2 and you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just me. But anyways, so, but yeah, the other question I want to ask you, Charles. So, like, being a president over Oregon, taking that over, how do you find yourself balancing family and running an organization? Like, the good, the pros, the cons. I'll help you out too, man, because I deal with this too. So.
Man, listen, I'm gonna keep it 100%. My wife came to me and put that ultimatum on my desk.
Executive order.
And she didn't do it for her selfish reasons. She put her foot down because she seen what was happening. She's like, hey, you're going to burn the candle at both ends. She's like, you show up to practice all day. You're at the field. Then you're walking in the house. You're taking calls from coaches. You walk in the house when dinner's on the table waiting for you, and you're still dealing with football stuff. And it boiled down to there were nights where I would walk in the house as a president, and I would completely ignore my family because I'm still dealing with football stuff. Mind you, I haven't seen my family since I left the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm walking in the house at 9 o'clock at night. And still, I'm making football more of a priority than I am a father at home and a husband. And where I really had to slow down was I had to put the same attention to details back into my household and my family that I was putting into football. I would have to pep talk, and I would have to use the same motivational speeches at home that I would use at football, because one thing she would say to me was, you're so great at talking to your coaches or talking to parents and families when something's wrong. How come you can't use those same skills to fix problems at home? So she said, there was once upon a time where I wondered if that was just did you have that mentality? But she said, I know it now because I see it what you do with football. So I need you to bring that same energy back into home. And that's where I realized, because there came a point where she said to me, she said, okay, since you don't want to do this, you want to do this how you want to do it, it's either going to be good football or your family. Mm-hmm. And I was actually dumb enough to sit there and think, well,
give me a minute.
You know what?
See if I can make
it ain't going to be football. But then I slowed it down. I realized, like, you know, at the end of the day, we do this for the kids.
Right.
Okay. I realized we do this for the kids. But most of the people I won't say most. A lot of the people who surround you with this football stuff, they have agendas. And their agendas. And it's not about the kids for them. And it's not about the overall good for the organization. So at the end of the day, are you really willing to sacrifice your family for a bunch? Let me make sure I say this the right way. For a lot of people who wouldn't do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
That part.
That happy wife, happy life thing, like it mattered.
Yeah.
So I had to balance. Walk in the house, cut the phone off, sit the phone down, eat dinner with the family. Let her know what I was doing. Her biggest beef was like, how hard is it to let me know that you have a football meeting on your calendar instead of popping it up on me 5 minutes after you walk in the house.
Yeah, I'm about to leave. What?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So I had to learn like she's in the trenches. My family's in the trenches with me.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm a football president, she's a football first lady.
That's real.
Okay. So I had to incorporate her. I had to involve my family into the organizational side of things. And once I started doing that, then the balance became a lot easier. It became a lot easier, but it was tough. It was tough. I compared it to my days when I managed restaurants as a general manager. And if you guys got friends who are general managers at restaurants, find out how many of them are married, because a lot of them are not.
Hey, look, I was going to interrupt you because we went to the Nike clinic one year.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking the same.
And Kiffin. Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. Yeah.
He was talking about how he was on like his third marriage or something. Well, he ain't married now though, but he was like that. He'll have some of his coaches and stuff. You know, they living in the building. You know how I go. And he like one night they going over some stuff and they like, man, we gotta go home or whatever. And he was like, man, forget those women, man. It's like we don't need. They were like, we choosing football over, you know what I'm saying, over the marriage part. You know what I'm saying. So he was like, he put it out there like, you gotta pick. You know what I'm saying. Like you ain't gonna have both. He like, we win the games, but ain't none of us married though. You know what I'm saying. Like
that's tough, man.
I remember him saying he would purposely stay late because he knew his assistants would try to go home, and he would walk by their office, right, and they just sit there, be rolling their fingers because they're waiting for him to leave so they can leave, and he would say he would purposely stay just so that they would be sitting in. I'm telling you, man. No, but Charles, 100%, man. I'm with you. Like with my wife, like she's here with me. Like, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, if it was the other way, like where she wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to do it. There's no way.
Yeah.
Hey, like something would falter because, you know, you're dealing with. My biggest issue is dealing with the county, you know, and then Sherman, Jeff, they do a pretty good job with the coaches. So I think it's really essential as a president is having good people around you. We were talking about this earlier. Like, if you don't, then all of it falls on you.
Yeah.
And you will break.
Yeah.
Like, you will come to your breaking point.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to deal with your phone calls. I don't care about what your kid did. I don't care. Like, you'll get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, it'll push you to that point.
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah, ultimatum on the desk.
And it was, listen.
And I resigned that day.
And it's like, how do you get burnt out about something that you absolutely love?
That's the sad part.
That's a bar.
And that'll do it, man.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you.
So, Charles, like, why did they come to you to be the president? What was the reason? Do you know why they came to you?
I was told the reason they wanted me to be the president is because I had a reputation of getting along with everybody. I had a reputation of putting the kids first, and I was told that everybody just loved who I was, which was cool because you got to think. Only reason I ended up with that organization is because we were Michigan fans. I didn't know nobody over there.
Yeah.
I didn't know nobody over there. Nobody. And that's how we ended up there.
That's cool.
But I just.
How are you a Michigan fan?
Look, man, I was
from
born,
Ohio,
I was
bro.
born in Toledo, right on the border.
Oh, I don't want to
So
hear that.
close.
You got a Cleveland Browns hat on. I don't even want to hear that.
listen.
You should be an Ohio State fan.
Never. Never.
Conflict of interest right there, man.
On the record, I wouldn't root for Ohio State if they were playing Iraq.
Oh,
Wow.
Dang!
All right.
no, man.
That bad?
Yeah, man. You ever met an Ohio State fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that speaks for itself.
Delusional.
We got one on our team, on our coach side. That's what I'm saying.
Delusional.
Oh, man.
Man, you made a great point, man. And like you said about the flowers, like y'all deserve y'all flowers, man. All of y'all, because that's a lot, man. I don't think parents really understand that concept.
I don't. I don't get it.
Man, dude's marriage is on the line. You know, they committed to your kids. You know what I mean? And like I said, when I first came and brought my kids, man, like I couldn't tell who the president was. I didn't know. Just like the trust y'all had between each other, just the way everybody was empowered to handle responsibility. It's like you just see a great team and like trust between each other, like just operate where it's like I can come to you and whatever problem I got, you'll get it solved as best you can. I can come to you, I can ask like anybody. So I just think being able to have like other great leaders around you, I think that's what make it real like smooth on the president as well, man.
Yeah, you can't manage with the God complex. You can't run an organization with a God complex. We've all had that manager who walks in. We've all worked for somebody who says, "Do it because I'm the manager." Like, bro, when I walk in this door, you got the polo on. We know you're the boss. You don't have to flex. We know that.
That's why I refuse.
Hey, straight up.
That's why I refuse to get. They always talk about making board shirts, and they want to like put the position on the shirt. I'm like, nope, I don't even do that. Because people who don't know the presidents, I'm fine with that.
Right. I introduced myself as the equipment manager.
I'll handle it on the backside. I don't need it.
Hey, all the time.
I don't need it.
I'm the equipment manager. And all the time I do. And people look at me, the other board look at me like, for real? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
You gotta disguise it. Like you gotta walk around, pick up trash, fill the water. Like, he ain't nobody important. He ain't nobody important. Exactly.
This guy's taking out trash.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm taking out trash.
That's funny.
Oh man. All right. So to round out your intro, being a Browns fan. How do you stay sane and be a Browns fan?
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I grew up my whole life a Browns and a Lions fan.
Oh, okay.
All right. Oh, listen, the Lions were always horrible too.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a Bucks fan. I get it.
right.
I get it.
Listen, being a Browns fan is easy. It's easy, but it's hard.
20 years apart, bro.
It's easy to be a Browns fan because most Browns fans are blue collar, hard working, family people, so you can relate to it. We lost a lot. Okay. And all I ever wanted from my football team was, listen, I understand we don't have the greatest talent. I understand we're not good. I understand we have probably the worst ownership in all of sports. All I want every week is for my team to look like a team.
Oh man.
You go out there and get beat. Okay, you got beat. Look like a team. I don't need Johnny Manziel throwing a forward pass that goes backwards 5 yards. Y'all remember exactly which play I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Or when you get a lead.
That's skill, dude.
Yeah. When you get a lead, you know you're gonna lose still. Because it's the Cleveland Browns, they find a way to lose.
I know that feeling so
Like
much.
all I want from my team every week is to show up and look like a football team. And I still roll with the Browns. Even after
Even after they left the city.
Even after they left the city, man, and won a championship 2 years later.
I know.
Super Bowl 2 years later.
Oh, that was cold.
What was that team again? What was that team? That team that they left and went to? What was it called, Sherm? Do you remember that?
Baltimore Colts.
Oh, the old one, huh?
It's the city curse.
Man, I was
Spot.
I was
In the
burnt
middle
up.
of the night.
I was hurt. I was hurt.
Packed up everything and left a little note.
Throwing chairs on the field.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, the
Don't
Browns
call.
left, man. They left Cleveland, went to Baltimore. Man. And then won a championship 2 years later. I don't know if you can write a better story.
can't write that.
It's almost like when Saquon left the Giants and rushed for over 2,000 yards and could possibly be the NFL MVP. I just have to throw that in there. Hey-o.
Here we go.
It'd be nice.
Anyways. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back to you. Enjoy the tunes.
Oh, way out, big dog.
I'm here, man.
Have a good night, bud.
We're back. Back on.
All right. Okay.
Get it.
And that's
That's-
it. We're back from break.
All right, guys. So, next topic, we're going to bring up something a little bit more fun. As you know, once again, I want to thank you for having Charles
bro.
here.
Yes, sir.
Great,
Chocolate Thunder.
great
Yes,
coach,
sir.
great president, runs a great organization, Greater Pasco Hurricanes. Give you guys a shout out.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be in the building.
Yeah, the chocolate thunder.
So
Get
two
it right.
two topics that we found online, and one of them that we actually were discussing last episode was QBs, game managers versus playmakers. Okay, so the big controversy, what we were talking about last time is we got into a little bit. Charles, just kind of give you some background. Shador Sanders, is he a playmaker or is he a game manager? And what's the importance of that? And Sherm kind of said, he's more of like a game manager. So this is kind of where we came up with the topic. So if you had to build a team, right? Are you looking more game manager? Are you looking more playmaker? And what's the difference between the two?
I think if I'm building a team, I think I'm gonna build a team with the game manager. For the simple fact is, like, I don't necessarily need you to go out there and win me games, even though it might be required for you from time to time. But I need you to go out there and not lose me games.
Yeah.
Sometimes a playmaker puts that pressure on their shoulder where they have to make a play when there's not a play to be made. And they live and die off that reputation. Where a game manager might not have the same skill sets as a playmaker. He might not be able to throw A, B, and C. But he can keep you in manageable third down situations to keep the chains moving. Because I think a lot of people forget manageable third downs. Get enough on first, get enough on second. So on third down, you can move it to get back to first and second. So I would take a game manager over a playmaker every day. But now that being said, a game manager is only as good as the talent around him.
That's true.
That would be my
That ain't all the way true.
big thing is how good is my running back?
Okay.
Do I got a stud running back?
You went
Yeah.
straight to the running back.
If I
okay.
got a stud running back, give me the game manager.
Okay.
If I got a so-so, then give me the playmaker.
I mean, my thing is, what kind of quarterback I think Tom Brady was?
Game manager.
I think he's a playmaker.
No, I think he's a
You think
game
he a
manager.
playmaker?
Hell, 100%.
Nah, he a game manager.
Nah,
100%.
man.
I think he had the clutch gene
How about this?
in him.
I think
the
he was. I
ability
think he was
to.
both because he had the ability to extend plays.
Nah,
I think he was
he was a game manager, bro.
I think he was a game manager who developed into a playmaker because of his dedication to his craft. So he became a playmaker because he knew where certain people were going to be on a certain time and when that ball had to come out of his hand, and he made everybody else better because of
His IQ.
yeah.
Yep.
So, but I don't think. Can you say Tom Brady was going to single-handedly go out there and win you football games as a playmaker, or?
I would say no to
Nah,
that.
but he
The man
did it.
won.
But,
The man won Super Bowls in two different teams
With his
right?
defense.
Nah, Tom Brady. Nah, look, hold on, look.
They had top 10 offense for a few of the years that he was there.
A few.
Tom Brady win the game. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I want to talk about this anyway, because I feel like people think you got to be a playmaker to be a great quarterback. That ain't true though.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree with that.
a playmaker is somebody that, like Charles just kind of said, like they gonna go out there and win the game for you as like enemy necessary. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Aaron Rodgers was a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? He took big chances. You know what I'm saying? Deep balls and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A game manager like pick your ass apart. You know what I'm saying? That's a game manager.
So you would say like
whatever open that shit open, I'm going here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Brett Favre, playmaker.
Playmaker.
We'll say Phillip Rivers, game manager. Just far ends of spectrums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just to get it far away from each other.
But nah, I just say, just put it here. Just put it at Tom Brady and Peyton Manning though.
True.
Peyton Manning was the game changer.
Game manager?
No, he was the game. He was the playmaker. Peyton Manning a playmaker.
But see, how you say Peyton Manning's a playmaker, but then Tom Brady
That
isn't?
doesn't make any sense.
Because, like I just said, Tom Brady really took shots. Tom Brady don't take shots, bro. He pick your ass apart.
He don't take
Peyton Manning is gonna take shots. He gonna pick your ass apart. He gonna.
But see, you just said it right there. Like he's gonna pick your ass apart. It takes a certain skill set to pick your ass apart. Not every game manager can do that. That's what I'm saying.
No, but a game manager, I'm saying they take it. He pretty much. I'm saying it's different levels to it. That's what I'm saying. Everything got levels, but like you just like Trent Dilfer was a game manager. You know what I'm saying?
That I could
but he wasn't on that level of he gonna take over the game and every time somebody opens that he getting into them.
Absolutely. But Tom Brady take over a game,
right? But he still is a game manager
through his knowledge.
But I'm losing track of what the definition, what your definition is, because to me, like if you think about it, I'm like, right, when they compare quarterbacks, right, like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady always get compared to each other, like almost the same.
I'm going with Peyton. Sorry, I'm just throwing that out there.
For me, they two different quarterbacks. Though.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just saying, but like when that comparison comes up, those two are always compared to each other.
Right, 100% though. But
Now, if you
one
told
was
me,
game manager and one was the playmaker though. So.
If you told me like, okay, Michael Vick and Tom Brady, Michael Vick's a playmaker.
Yeah, but he playmaker with his leg, with his arm.
Right.
Right, like yes, like he a big playmaker, right? Like,
right. I get what you're saying, but like. To me, like the playmaker definition, like that it depends on what the skill set is. Like, for instance, like I feel like Mike Vick for the longest time, maybe on the back end of his career, he got more accurate, got better at throwing. He got better with throwing. He could still kill you with his legs, though, right? I feel like Tom Brady, on the other hand, he had a chip on his shoulder. He'll go out there and throw second window, first window, third window. But he would extend plays as well. So like I like the skill set's different. I still think he's a playmaker though. It's just a different skill set.
Between
he taking what they giving him though. That's what I'm saying. He not taking no chances. He taking what's being there. Like I know it's finna be here. Mm-hmm. I'm not finna take this shot unless I got Randy Moss. I'm gonna throw the ball deep. Any other time I'm not taking no shot back there.
Is there a difference between being clutch and being a playmaker, because now we're getting it, into real definition. Because being clutch is when we need this play at this time, at this moment, can I make this play? Is that the same thing as being a playmaker?
Nope. Because not all playmakers always make that play either. Though.
Okay, so because see, I look at that as the debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron. The last shot of the game, Michael he's a killer. He's got that killer in him. LeBron's going to pass it. Mm-hmm. If Buddy's open over here in the corner, he's going to pass it off. Michael is going to, this is me. Fade away, step back, fade away, jab step, fade away, front of three, win the game, jump in the air, That's
game take over.
Clutch. Clutch.
He's taking over game.
That's the clutch gene. So what I'm saying is that playmaker to where LeBron would be game manager, because LeBron's gonna facilitate the ball to whoever is in the best position to make the shot. Where Michael is like, it's me.
On me.
Kobe is like, it's me.
Man.
Yeah,
Man, the more I think about it, I'm just like,
you did just break it to a sport, different sport.
Tom, he's a game manager.
Yeah.
Because listen, and you did say something that was very true earlier. Like a lot of Tom's championships are piggybacked off that defense. And the one year that he had a superior offense, they got beat by the Giants.
Yep.
They did go 18-0, or what did they go
Almost,
before they got almost?
Yeah, almost undefeated. Yeah, if they would have won the Super Bowl.
I just think Tom from being disciplined in the film room to understanding the weapons that he had. He was a game manager who made the right plays all the time.
Yeah, he taking what was given. That's what I'm saying. Whatever they giving you your ass,
10 for 10.
he taking it.
But on third and 12 with the game on the line, we weren't worried about Tom Brady breaking off a 12-yard run
At all. Or even really trying to burn you
I
over
mean,
the
he
top.
can't.
Unless
He
he
has.
He has
done that now. I mean,
unless he sees a mismatch in the
slowest
in
40
the
time
coverage.
ever. Golly.
He's not gonna really try to burn you. Even with us when he came to Tampa, he started kind of doing that a little bit. You know, taking the deep shots to Scotty Miller, like at the end of halftime. Like we never really seen him do quote unquote reckless stuff like that before. But he came to Tampa, got a little loose. That's what happens when you come to
He had a
Tampa.
chance, but I'm saying like he ain't no.
But like,
That ain't his game. You know what I'm saying? Like
so
I said.
like Patrick Mahomes, that's a playmaker or that's a
That's a
game
playmaker.
Playmaker.
He's a playmaker. But let's ask this: who has more longevity? A playmaker or a game manager?
Game manager.
I'm gonna say a game manager. I'm gonna give you an example. Look at Joe Flacco last year.
Yeah.
Look, he came in Cleveland. He came in and he managed the game. We ain't gonna call him a playmaker, but he managed the game into another contract where he should have been written off a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's true.
Once a playmaker loses their ability to make plays in the eyes of the league,
Yeah. Whoever.
Yeah.
he's done. How many playmakers?
they can't adapt to
Right? How many
to being
playmakers?
that
How many
game manager,
playmakers
yeah.
are backups?
A lot.
Nah. It ain't. It ain't.
Playmakers are
It
backups.
ain't even really a whole bunch of playmakers that's back. They just ain't in the league.
They ain't in the league because they have their moment of playing league. They have their moment of making plays, and then they're gone. They can't. What happened with Cam Newton? What happened with Cam Newton? Stopped being able to make plays. He couldn't even stick. Some of it could have possibly been him, but he couldn't even stick as a backup. But then you got Joe Flacco, who won the Super Bowl with the Ravens. How many years ago?
Yeah. Forever ago.
2013.
Still getting generational contracts for his family.
Got paid too.
You know what I'm saying?
Got paid too. Yeah.
Yeah.
100% though. He can get in that game and manage them.
I mean, Mike Vick was a playmaker though, but he was backup for a while. I mean,
You said Mike Vick?
yeah, he went to jail. He was a backup for the Eagles for a little bit. Then ended up taking over the starting job, but then left there. That he was a backup in Pittsburgh.
For
right?
how long?
For a couple. He was there for like 2-3
Like
years.
a year.
No, he was there longer than that.
After he won the starting number, Vick ain't hang around like that.
I could have sworn he was there longer than that. He wasn't there just for a year.
For Pittsburgh?
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I think it was a year. He wasn't there long.
Maybe 2 years. I'll give you maybe 2 years. Like after when he was back up, he was gone after that. Like he
And let's be honest, given the situation where what he came from, I mean, if it'd have been any other situation, he would have walked into probably a starting role or an opportunity to start. If it wasn't for it was the Eagles that gave him a chance, right? If it wasn't for them taking that leap of faith on him,
Andy Reid. Yep.
there was a good chance he wouldn't have made it back into the league.
Yeah, never touched nothing. Yeah.
Yep. Sat there and took McNabb's job.
That wasn't really hard to do, though, was it?
At that time.
According to my wife, he falls apart all the time. So yeah.
Oh shoot.
So I guess at the end of the day, if game manager, playmaker, like my thing is too, like as far as draft status with those two names, the playmakers always get drafted higher.
Yeah. It's the flash, though. That's what sells.
Right? I
That's
mean,
what
'cause
makes
I mean,
the
it
money.
depends on the situation.
But that leads into even more questions. Like, you know, if you're a playmaker coming out of college and you're going right into the NFL, like they want to win right away, and that's where the NFL has like a huge problem with like development.
Yeah.
And then you see a lot of these young guys, they come in there, like they throw them to the wolves early. Like, I mean, I'll use Caleb Williams. He's great in college. And then, I mean, he did decent this year, but I mean, they threw him to the wolves. He had no line. right?
Yeah.
I mean, expected to make plays, all the pressure, right? I mean, that's the thing though. You come into that development part of it too, but the playmakers always go higher. And Tom Brady's prime example, drafted last round.
Yeah, no,
right?
Where
I
did
mean,
that change though? 'Cause somewhere around Matt
100%.
Leinart, right? He was like the first USC quarterback. Like, oh, he's gonna come right in the league and ready to start somewhere around. Then he bombed, but somewhere around that time is really where we stopped it, because it used to be first round draft pick quarterback, and he's gonna go sit. He's gonna go sit behind whatever quarterback you got for a season.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think-
somewhere that changed.
It changed when I believe that GMs and owners realized like we can build around this team on this rookie contract. So he might not be ready, but we have enough money that we could put enough skilled players around him that essentially he becomes a game manager, and gives us a chance to win. That gives us a 4 to 5 year window before we have to pay this guy
the big contract.
the big contract. So if he's sitting on the bench for 3 years developing, which I think is the smart thing to do, then we've lost 2 years. We've lost 2 years in that window that we could build around him and win a championship. That win now mentality
For cheaper. Yeah.
Let's see. Then I'm gonna go back to Tom Brady again, because Tom Brady was notorious for not having any talent around him.
Yeah.
Win.
What do you mean win? His whole career, other than when Randy Moss was there.
Man, he
What other-
got
what
talent.
other-
He just
what
didn't
I'm
have big names around
I'm saying,
him,
what
though,
other
but-
big talent did he ever have around him offensively, other than Randy Moss?
I mean, Corey Dillon, Deion Branch.
Back into
I mean,
his career, Deion Branch.
When we get to Tampa, there's nothing but weapons there.
We're all gonna cost you.
I mean, I'm saying
You
as far
know,
as New
there's-
England wise, yeah, he had more talent in Tampa than he ever had.
Gronk, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman. Like,
Yeah, but those aren't top line talents though. Like those
but
guys
those
were
are
all
big talents.
They weren't.
They are.
They were not.
Well, nobody is at the time. You got to get there first. Go look at them now. They are. Look at
No,
their stats.
I get what you're saying, but at the time, are those top of the line receivers that they had? No. Like in the league, were those
They
top
did-
tier receivers
they
in the
didn't
league?
ha- They didn't have the
they weren't.
name, but they were giving the output of that.
How much of that was Tom though?
Probably a lot.
Someone's
Probably
gotta
a
go-
lot.
someone's
Probably- I
gotta-
would say-
A lot of, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I think y'all still getting it wrong. That's what I'm saying. A game manager still could be a Hall of Famer. That's what I'm saying. Like,
He's still.
he's still, you know what I'm saying? But it's a
for
level
sure.
of a game changer.
I get that, but
a
it's just,
game
there's
manager,
just
though.
such a negative connotation with being a game manager.
Yeah, that was
Like when you hear that,
people think
like,
that
oh, he's
way.
coming in to get manage the game, he's a game manager. Like you hear that, and it's like, okay, so this guy's a scrub, he can't play, or he doesn't have a big enough talent to really compete. It's dependent upon who's around him. But Tom Brady proved that wrong, though. Like he didn't, like I'm saying, like he didn't always have Wes Welker, and he didn't always have Edelman and all the guys. He didn't always have that.
bro.
That's what
awesome
the
defense.
that's
Man, that's what I'm saying. But
that's
this
what
what
the
it
Patriots
go
were
back
known
to,
for.
though.
We're having lower tier guys and making it work. The Patriot way, right? Is that
Man,
what
they know the
call it?
game. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not even a
They know the
Patriot
game.
fan, and I can't stand the Patriots,
me neither,
but I'm vouching that I just think differently on that.
Yeah, but he know the game though. They knew the game. Just because they want to talk to a receiver though, whatever. They knew the game. They knew what they route was. Like they get to the fucking spot.
I know
It
that,
don't
but I'm
matter.
going based on what he was saying. Like, usually a game manager has talent around him. Tom Brady did not always have that.
Nah, 100%. I don't think so either.
He
But
had sustainable talent. He had enough talent to make it work.
Well, that
Which
would be
is-
anybody,
Which
wouldn't
is
it?
why he's a game manager.
nah, he always had them
He
like
was able to
them
manage.
good. He did. He had good defenses though.
Listen, Tom Brady had great defenses around him, and he was really good at taking retread tires, your Corey Dillons, players from other teams who came into the Patriot system, who
Wanted a ring.
who wanted a ring, who were professionals. Okay,
Did everything the right way.
They've got their bag already. They
And
got
on-
their money.
They're on the back end of their career.
They want to win.
Yeah.
And he was able to take players like that. I don't want to say make them better, but they come in on the same page. So that made his job easier. And just like when you got somebody like Tom, who who's not going to cheat the film study, who's not going to cheat the game, who's not going to cheat the players, who's not going to cheat himself,
Or let you cheat.
or let you cheat.
Or let the refs cheat.
He might be
He
in.
might be. Yeah,
He might be in cahoots with it.
Give me that game manager every time.
Yeah, the best game manager that ever played the game though. But it ain't like that's a
Yeah, I don't think
slap in the face though.
No,
You
but
know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
you're right.
Like,
I think there is a negative connotation on it, but who?
It is,
But
though.
who gave it that? Like, who decided that? Like, where did that go to be a bad thing? To me, okay, so it used to be a pocket passer and a scrambling quarterback.
Yeah.
Now it's game manager and playmaker.
Playmaker, yeah.
Like, what are we saying? It's pretty much the same thing that you were just changing the terms of it now.
Let me tell you why.
Pretty much.
I think because when the term game manager first came out, and we're comparing that particularly to a quarterback, when that term first came out, it was almost like in a negative light. Like when you say a game manager, you're like, yeah, he's a quarterback, but he's only good enough just to manage the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that concept was like, okay, he's not good enough to make plays. He's not, like I said earlier, he's not going to lose the game for you.
Right.
So, but a game manager is absolutely not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Because if a game manager is gonna if a game manager is gonna keep me employed as a coach every year, give me that game manager every time.
Yeah, we'll find some pieces to put around him.
but I think that's one thing too though. Like Tom Brady was great at not losing games though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that was one of his
Yeah, you
secret. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't even throw no game away. You know what I'm saying? Like if you give him any type of chance, like he finna go win that. He finna go manage it for you. Like you know what I'm
I
saying?
just think like he had like just like a killer instinct. He extended plays. He was clutch. I mean,
He was.
to
Everything
me,
you saying is correct.
That's a playmaker to me, though. That's a playmaker. Like, you list those three things. That's a playmaker to
Is
me.
he a hybrid? Are we creating?
I mean,
a
you can say he's both.
I think
You
he's
can
a
say
game
both.
manager, bro.
a game manager with playmaker abilities.
Well, I think that's what Charles said earlier, right? Like he started off as a game manager and then became a playmaker, just a different type.
right because like when you run the same play 1,000 times, you know where that wide receiver is going to be off his break.
Yeah.
So that ball's already there. All you got to do is turn around and catch it. I'm saying that comes from reps. That comes from over and over and over and over and over
You
again.
start throwing to places on the field and not to receivers.
Right. You start throwing the terms. He throws wide receivers open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Man. So I guess at the end of the day, if you had to draft any quarterback, we're all going around the table. Everybody gotta say one, right? You're building a team, you gotta draft one. Who you taking?
Of all time,
All time.
Steve
Like
McNair.
quarterback, you gotta say the quarterback
Steve
name.
McNair. I'm
You're
taking
building a
McNair.
team. Who you taking?
Steve McNair, bro, off top.
That's interesting. Steve McNair.
I like Steve McNair.
Steve is a good pick, but I'm probably go Vic though.
Big. Okay. Who you got, Charles?
Prime Vic. I'm going Prime Vic.
All time. I had to
That's
build
just
a
my
team.
favorite though. Like that's one of my favorites.
Him a Peyton, but
I'm going with Troy Aikman.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
He reminds me of Tommy.
Yeah.
Ultimate game manager.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna make it work.
Gonna make it work.
Make it work.
I do took some hits, boy.
Hey, Tom was great at not taking hits.
Yeah.
And sometimes he looked at real soft doing it. Like, you just watch him fall to the ground? Yeah, he lived to see another play. That ain't nothing cowardly about that.
He learned that from his early days. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, he was like you said, he was real good at.
down.
He was
Yeah,
real
head
good
knocked
at
off.
minimizing the contact.
He done been there before. You know what I'm saying? He done got his head knocked off before. He like I don't like that.
That's before the rule changed.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I gotta figure this out.
Like in boxing, when you get real good at turning with that hook, so you don't get clipped too hard. When you see that thing come, I'm turning with it. I'm not gonna let you just straight catch the whole thing. You gotta turn with it, man. You going down. You try to fight it, boy, you gonna sleep. Nah, you night, bro.
Yeah, that's a little hard. Yeah.
So Steve McNair.
Mike Vick.
You say Mike Vick,
mean-
Troy Aikman. Jeff, who you
I
got?
like Peyton too.
I just didn't want to say the normal answers. You know.
I mean, I like Brady. I've always been I've always liked the way he handled his business on the field. But I mean, I like Joe Montana.
Montana. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one of my favorites was Steve Young. Yeah, I
That's
like
another.
Steve Young. Lefty.
Hey, Dan didn't get enough credit either.
Oh, Marino?
Marino,
Yeah,
yeah.
Marino, yeah.
Yeah, I
that
think.
was
Talk
a
about a
beast,
statue
bro.
back there, boy.
Yeah, I think.
Now talk about someone who could run.
Yeah, I think
Nah,
what
Dan
it, I
Ruth
think what it
cannot
was
run.
with Dan. I think he got to the Super Bowl once, and I thought everybody expected him to get back over and over and over and over, and
Yeah.
it just didn't happen.
You want to talk about weapons? What name his weapons?
Who?
Dan Marino on them teams.
Mark Duper.
Yeah.
Mark Clayton.
Clayton. Yeah, Clayton though.
Yeah.
2 speedy 5'10" receivers. That's what he had.
Mark Clayton.
That's it.
And then they always had a good. Miami always had a good tailback though, right? I can't remember who the running back was.
Dan Marino days. Well, I was young though.
That's like
Yeah, now
right.
you got me thinking
That's like
now.
right at the beginning of my football watching. That's back when we had
Mark Duper,
Super
Mark
Bowls
Clayton.
recorded on the VHS tapes.
VHS.
Cowboys versus the Bills on the VHS.
They had a lot.
putting it
They
in.
had a lot of good defense back then, though. Kept them
Yeah.
alive pretty good.
Well, I mean,
I can't even think of who his running back was.
exactly. That proves the point in itself. Because if
Nah.
you really had weapons, we'd be able to spout off the names just like who
They
did Joe
did have
Montana
weapons,
have?
though.
Who did Steve Young?
Crickets.
We can name their whole roster, bro. Who did Troy Aikman have? We can name right now.
John Elway.
Yeah,
he had
But
weapons.
Marino's a game manager though, right?
He was, yeah.
I think he might have been forced to be
Because I mean, if you're gonna
Due
use
to-
that, we're back on the Brady thing again.
due
Back
to
on
the
the Brady.
situation.
Yeah, that's tough.
Hey, they been,
Nah, I don't know if Dan Marino was. He was a.
That's a different. That was
No, I'm saying,
different.
but he was a chance taker though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was a
He's
slinger. He
he's
was a gunslinger.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
a different style of quarterback too, man. Yeah.
yeah, I gotta say he a playmaker, honestly.
Those are the ones I grew up watching. The Brett Favre's throw 100 interceptions.
You feel
Also
me?
going to throw 100 touchdowns and win you the game. 1 second left, 7 yards out. He's going to roll out and throw somebody in the back of the end zone,
Or lose
Or
and
throw
never
a-
make it back to the Super Bowl.
or throw a pick six. you know,
Lose and
Yeah,
never
that
make it.
definitely
Lose
goes
and
either
never
way.
make it back, boy. Lose
or
and
trip
never
and
make it
fall and give up the sack record.
Man, that sound
Man.
that sound like Jameis without the crab
That's a
legs.
simple,
That's what that sounds like.
Hey man, listen, hey. I always thought we should have kept Winston and signed him behind Brady.
Nah, 100% though.
Like for real.
Really?
I really, yeah. I was kind of. I wish they would have did that for him though.
He wanted too much.
it would have been
money,
good for him.
Dude,
You want too
and
much
now
money.
I've seen him like
I don't-
being
I don't-
like
I mean, I don't
sports
know.
commentator.
I don't think they
that's
ever-
where- that's where it's at.
Listen, I was just
Talk to him.
telling.
I think
where
he probably
it's
would
at.
have
I was
took a
just
pay
telling
cut
my
though.
wife that, man, because
I think he
I'm
would've
watching
took a
him
pay cut,
on
though.
TikTok and stuff, and he's just a
Yeah.
gem to watch, man.
I'm
I'm like ESPN needs to find something for him to do,
Yeah.
like go around
For
different
sure.
towns and stuff, because he's
For
in
sure, bro.
he's in New Orleans going crazy right now over crab leg and
Dude,
everything.
I am the.
Man's off.
I am
Did you
a,
see the video he did?
Sometimes that boy too much. Sometimes
He don't mind
diehard
clowning
Gator
at himself
fan.
either.
I'm a diehard Gator fan, so when we picked him number 1, I had to instantly. He's a Buccaneer now, so I had to get over it a little bit.
Nah, you still a no, baby.
yeah,
Nah,
Deal with it.
yeah.
I needed to throw 30 interceptions. Makes sense.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I guess that's where he comes from. Florida State, one of Florida State guys.
So, okay.
There you go. Well, I should have said nothing.
Hey, boy, hey, Florida's back to being good again. I'm gonna be back talking trash again.
Hey,
We're gonna see.
yeah, y'all looking
The
all right.
roster look good.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
So, evolution. I guess we kind of talked about that evolution for the quarterback. Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? How do you guys feel in regards to that? Everything. I mean, you can go all levels, really. I mean, I kind of already know. We kind of touched base on it. Like, it's the development part. Like, to me, like in the NFL, like, I mean, they want you to win right away. You know what I'm saying? There's like no developing, no sitting guys anymore. Evolution wise, I mean, you see quarterbacks run a lot more. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I just think it brings another. Like I said, like with the Eagles, I'm a big time Eagles fan. Like, you know, Eagles have notoriously, you're never gonna have a number one passer, like most passing yards. Like what Philly wants is, like I said, you're gonna throw for 220, 230, maybe a little bit more, but they want you to run for 70 or 80. Like that's what that town is. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that kind of fits like what you kind of see now, like with Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen runs a lot more. He runs a lot, but he can also throw it too. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes even to a point. Gunslinger. Now he's not so much a gunslinger. He's making smarter decisions, but you see him run a little bit more this year than he has any other year. So I think that evolution of them running more is definitely I don't know if per se if it's a good thing or a bad thing, especially when you don't have.
It's bad for the defense because they're allowed to run without any consequences. So I mean, I think that they need to evolve the rules a little bit more to get allow them quarterbacks to get some contact because they're taking advantage of it.
Right.
But you can't. But,
I mean, once they're running, they is full game. But once if they sliding,
They're not.
that's like anything though. That's like if a running back run down the field and slide too, you got to pull up on him too though.
Has the quarterback position in the NFL has it what's the word I'm looking for?
what's up?
Evolution, is that the word we were using?
Yeah.
Evolved, excuse me.
Evolved.
Has it evolved, or has the stereotype and the title we put on what a quarterback have we dropped that? For instance, a kid who's in the high school or college who's 6'4", who is the quarterback prototype, who might not have been good, will get a shot in the league because he's 6'4", and they say he has a big arm, but can't play the game.
Mm-hmm. Don't even know the game.
Don't know the game.
Yeah.
So once we got away from like this is what a quarterback looks like, and the position became as they start letting athletes play the position, then I think the position it involved because you don't have a certain type of person who can play this position. So if I got 50 kids on the field right now, but only 10 of those kids can play are the prototypical type of quarterback. Well, I might have lost out on a real quarterback because I'm not even looking at the other 40 kids out there.
Yeah.
And I think they've kind of dropped that persona of like my quarterback needs to be a Jake the Snake Plumber, 6'5", this type of frame.
220.
Classic name. Hey, look at you name dropping, man. I haven't heard that name in a while. Okay.
So I just think about players like that getting a shot based off of what they. Now Jake was a great college quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Jake Snake, yeah.
Yeah, like that. But now you got if you can sling it and you can get away from that athletic defensive end who's coming around that corner on you.
Yeah.
You are an NFL quarterback now, sir. Yeah. So is it almost fair to say are we getting to the point where a pocket passer is becoming obsolete because they can't get out of that pocket fast enough now?
Yeah, that's why Tom had to get out of there though. If Tom was able to move around just a little bit, I think he could have played 3 more years. But Tom couldn't move though.
I think, man, honestly, I think it all changed. It's the Vic phenomenon, bro. After Michael Vick came in and coaches and GMs and everybody seen like we seen a little bit before that, with people, McNabb, Steve McNair, all the mobile Steve Young, all the mobile quarter. We got a little taste of like, hey man, that might work, but we want a pocket pass. You're not really supposed to run as a quarterback. But when we seen Vic out there busting off 80-yard runs, making defenders run into themselves. We're like, wait, hold on, wait. There's a whole different type of quarterback we can have.
Right. And let me ask this question.
Wait.
Let me ask this. Did the NFL quarterback position change once GMs and coaches stopped thumbing their nose at what they would call the college system or the college type of plays? Because when you finally got a coach in the NFL who's like, you know what, I'm gonna run college concepts. So which will allow me to use a scrambling quarterback or a quarterback can get out the pocket.
RPO.
Stuff like that. Did the position become more scrambler friendly then?
Flexible.
Because it used to be, we run NFL concepts, an NFL offense. That college stuff is what you do in college.
Be this way.
Wait, we don't do that up here.
Pro set, pro style.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a.
You said, what I'm saying?
You
used to see that label. It'd be like, he's a pro style quarterback or a pro set quarterback, right? That's.
He's a wildcat quarterback.
Yeah.
He's running wildcat. He's not a real quarterback. He's a wildcat quarterback.
I think somebody had to do too though, like the defense is not though. You know what I'm saying? Like you got them linemen D linemen wasn't always fast dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like now you got DNs who run fucking 4.5 and 4.4 and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of forced that. You gotta have somebody that kind of can move around. You got D tackle. You know what I'm saying? Running a 4.6, you know what I'm saying? 4.5, like
D tackles are 250.
you gotta be able to you gotta be able to move around. You can't move around, then you kind of ain't no good for us unless we got like a old time Dallas Cowboy offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
kind of go together because I think the D line had to evolve for those most
So-
quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, that's exactly where it goes. Now Now a D tackle is just a fat linebacker. If you just like really,
I mean, yeah.
like, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just really what it is. It's just an oversized linebacker. Hey man, you a little bit too big to play linebacker.
Right.
Come down here.
Put
You
your hand
be
in the
perfect.
dirt, yeah.
You're not off base there at all.
But they were like we were talking about, the other day, like with not to bring my Eagles back up, but like their O line, like they're all over 300 pounds, so it's kind of gone back to, and they got a rushing title this year, so it kind of go like what Sherman said, it comes back full circle, So I don't know, me personally, like with the quarterback spot, I think it comes down to the wins and losses and money.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It's a business.
it's such a. Look at it. It doesn't matter what level it is, right? Like high school. You even see it on the high school level, high school, college, and NFL. Like if you ain't winning,
yeah.
so a lot of times if a quarterback ain't exactly have the best accuracy and he can run a little bit and throw, guess what? They're gonna take that. Like,
Man, we're seeing that on the youth level now.
I
bro.
mean, you know what I'm
If you
saying?
ain't winning here, then we're leaving. We're
Yeah, it's
out
like,
of here.
we're going somewhere else. Yeah,
Taking
exactly.
my top
and
10
then,
quarterback prospect in the nation, 10-year-old
the other
somewhere
thing
else.
too is
That part.
what goes back to what Jeff was saying, like try to revamp the rules for the defense so that the quarterback can take a little bit of contact. They're not gonna do that because look who number one selling jerseys on every team is usually the quarterback's like one of the top ones. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah, but I mean, with this, NFL 7-on-7 now. Though.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly where it's heading.
right,
Yeah, so we got
7-on-7 plus 4.
right.
Yeah.
We just got plus 4 out here, bro. That's it. 7-on-7 with linemen. That's all.
Y'all see that breaking news? We got an MVP.
Yeah.
No, who's
I ain't shit.
Yeah, it just popped on my watch.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Who we
Who
got?
is it?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Damn, man, come
My
on.
dog.
They robbed him. They robbed Saquon. They robbed him.
They felt,
Me?
I think they
Josh
felt,
Allen's good.
Saquon's still playing. Anyways,
they felt bad for
Yeah,
him getting
part,
screwed
huh?
out of that championship.
I thought Lamar had better numbers than Josh.
Yeah.
Well, were they going to give him another one?
Nah, they can't get on 3 though.
No.
But why can't they? If you're the why can't they?
Cause they don't want that, man.
who? Lamar? What?
Nah,
What'd you say?
the NFL don't want that.
Yeah. Because of the people who run it.
They don't want that, bro.
They got to get the white quarterback in there, guys.
Oh.
I ain't even gonna put it like that, but I'm saying they ain't gonna want.
Damn.
I was going to say it, bro.
He ain't the face of the NFL, bro. Like
That part. But why?
he ain't got that look.
He don't fit that stereotype, that mold,
mold.
right?
Yeah.
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 He ain't 6'5".
Lamar, you know what I'm saying? Nah, no. Lamar is Lamar though. Like he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't playing their game and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he doing what he doing. You know what I'm
Will
saying?
not conform to
First
the
quarterback
system.
with diamonds in the mouth. Like I mean,
Or he's
you
Florida
think they
boy.
finna make that? I'm saying, but you think they gonna make that him as a poster boy? Like no. Like,
Yeah.
Why not though?
I mean,
Well, Barry, to us,
that's a question to ask the NFL.
No, I'm
to
saying,
us
give me a
it's
reason
normal.
why.
To us, it's normal.
Because he
we're
don't
from
fit.
Florida,
I
right?
just
That's
said it.
what
What you
we
mean?
see.
He don't
why?
fit.
It's because of a corporate dollars.
Because that ain't what they want.
part.
I mean,
I mean, Lamar's been on Madden covers. How many times been on Madden covers?
what a man couple got to do with
Because
the
kids
thing?
That's the face.
kids make the decisions.
Yeah, that's-
on a
that's
lot
the
of
body
things,
game.
and that's the face.
Yeah, the body game.
Yeah,
So
but
that's what I'm saying. Like,
but you're saying he's not the face, but but they're putting him on covers and stuff.
Man, he ain't the face of the NFL. Like what you talking? You talking about a video
well,
game?
if you're gonna say that, then the face of the NFL is not Josh Allen. It's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
that's the
it's
face
Mahomes
of the
for
NFL.
sure.
Yeah, and I can sell Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, so does that take away from Josh Allen? Is he not a? Is that
I
a
ain't
great
say no. I
quarterback?
think Josh Allen a great quarterback.
So you don't think he deserves it though?
I think Lamar did have better than. I think.
Did he?
Speaking of
Yeah.
Josh Allen, I
I don't know. I'm not being a smart ass.
I think Lamar. I think Lamar had it hands down. Be honestly, but
I mean,
Didn't the Bucks trade their draft pick away for the Bills to get Josh Allen? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
you having flashbacks?
Yes.
But you know what though? Hey,
It sounds like they would do
I'm
that.
pretty sure.
That's something they would do.
hey, Josh Allen's first couple years were he was looking like he could have been a bust though.
yeah, 100% though. But
That's that development process.
Right.
once they start put, you know what I'm saying, put him in the right, like they made it for him though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
he's like another one. You know what I'm saying, he ain't finna sit back there and throw the ball on you all day. You know what I'm saying?
he can.
If
He
he
can, yeah.
if you make him just have to throw the ball, he's not gonna win games for you.
Hey, that's another question. Personnel or scheme? You know what I mean? Like
You got, know what I'm saying? But you gotta, he
or
like,
system, I guess you would say. Personnel or system?
he gotta be able to run the ball for, you know what I'm saying? Like that's his if he ain't no threat of running the ball, he not gonna just take over no game, just sitting back there and sitting in the pocket throwing the ball.
But dude,
even though he could do it for a couple plays, he not gonna do that.
Who's a quarterback now other than Patrick Mahomes that can do that? Because I think look at the ones that are left.
What, they sit in the pocket and win games?
Yeah, like look at it.
CJ?
Yeah.
Stroud, yeah. He doesn't run like that. And then Jane Daniels can do both. He kind of do both.
Jaden Daniels got to he run too. He got to run sometimes. You know what I'm saying? He a threat. Ain't nobody scared that CJ finna run the ball like.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm trying to. Who are the pocket passers in the NFL? That's a tough one.
Brock Purdy.
Kind of. He's running for his life a lot though. I don't know if that counts.
I mean,
as actually.
he is more of a pocket dude, but he a game manager
I
that
think that's just because there's no
can't all the way
pocket there.
manage.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua moves a little. Tua moves. Josh moves.
Most of all the
a little bit.
quarterbacks move around.
I mean, all of them kind of move around. Like, I don't know if you got a true pocket passer anymore.
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
Stafford maybe.
Kirk
But
Cousins.
Stafford will move.
Kirk Cousins.
Kurt. Yeah. But he got benched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He out of there.
No, they gonna keep him.
Think so?
Yeah.
What about Trevor?
That's too much money to throw away.
They plan on paying him anyway. They said they might as well keep him.
Trevor Lawrence.
He's not
He
necessarily.
ain't all over his pocket though.
No, he can get out and move too. So.
There you go.
Just moving around. I mean,
Bryce Young.
just because he moving around too though. I'm saying he ain't just standing in no pocket. He moving around. Not even just scrambling, but I mean like taking off, but like he's
David
like
Carr.
moving around. Who David Carr play for?
No, not David Carr. Did I say the wrong card? You said the wrong
Yeah.
card. My bad.
They gone, boys.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, there ain't a whole bunch of them. Everybody moving around now. That's what I'm saying.
Don
You
Reed.
moving around. You gotta be able to move around.
But that goes back to what Mike said. Like, the D line and all of them are getting a lot faster. Like, you got to be able to move. Like, that's what you were saying too. Like,
When that run game comes back
a
around,
true pocket
we'll start
passer
seeing more
that's
pocket
pretty
passers.
much dead. Like, that's dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't really exist anymore. Like, and if they do, it's far and few between.
I don't think it'll ever fully come back.
You don't think so?
No, I think because you got the athletic quarterbacks now that are there. I think that's always going to be a part, whether we get the run game or not. It's just going to be an extra advantage if you depending on what quarterback you got in play.
Let me ask you
At
this:
that level.
as a coach or a general manager, even as an owner, do you want your quarterback running?
No.
That's the scary part,
Not
though.
that much.
Sometimes.
I mean, it depends.
When
Yeah,
it-
it
when
depends
it-
on who my
when it-
quarterback
When
is,
it-
though. Like,
when it's
if
third and
needs to.
7 and we need a first down, absolutely, I need you to go get.
if
this
he like a
first
Baker
down.
Mayfield, you know what I'm saying, mentality like Baker, you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, gonna go drop a shoulder.
They're not built like Baker, though.
I know, I'm just saying though, like
Baker is a
to just
fullback
want your
playing
quarterback,
quarterback. That's
to
what
just
he
want your
is.
quarterback to run. I mean,
Who happens to have a pretty decent
it just depends on who he
pretty
is
good
though.
arm.
You know what I'm saying? If he got that mentality, yeah.
My thing
Yeah,
is,
true. I
my
like
thing,
Baker-
my thing
Baker's
is
like a little bulldog.
If
Man.
he's built like that, then yeah.
My thing is like as a GM, 100%. I would say no. You don't want him running because if they get hurt, your backup is a far cry of your starter most of the time.
Most of the time, yes.
And you could almost say pessimistically like your season's over,
Yeah, but I think
right? I mean,
the thing about it, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Football's so soft now. That's what I'm saying. Football's so soft now that you worry about your quarterback getting hurt, like because he ran the ball. Like back in the day, like bro, we playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting hit, bro. Like
Oh, yeah.
you gotta be. We playing this game because you tough. Like
I agree.
you gotta be able to take a hit. You gotta have that mentality. Like I mean,
no, I agree.
honestly, I don't want no little soft quarterback like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you as when it comes down to money and you're running the team and your job
Yeah.
depends on
That guy, yeah.
that 22-year-old running your
Worth
offense.
$200
That's an
million.
investment.
I do not want you running that much.
Jaden Daniels is a perfect example. Like
he runs when he has to.
no, but what I'm saying is.
Boy, I tell you what.
Mentality, like, you know what I'm saying? He a big old, lanky, 6'4" dude, right?
But if he ever gets hit,
200, what up? He don't been hit. What you
Yeah.
mean?
man, come on.
The Bucks game, Bucks
This,
game.
that's my
but he
point
came
exactly. This
back
what I'm saying. This dude can take a hit. You know what I'm saying? He got that
Right.
mentality, bro. Like, I think he actually, like, I mean, but look at the hits he done took in college, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, just,
Yeah.
he done took hits. Like, he done shown that he can,
he's tough
he can
kid,
take a
man.
hit and I get up and go play this game. Like, I'm playing this game like old school way, like. Yeah. I ain't no point. You know what I'm saying? I play quarterback, but just because you hit me, like, I ain't folding, bro. Like,
Well,
Toughness.
that's tight. I mean, that's what I want at quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Are we starting to lose that in the game? Toughness.
100%. Because they making it.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
they making it like that. Yeah.
depends on what position you play.
No, that's on everybody. Wide receivers used to be able to go across the middle, get their head tore off.
Yeah.
They crying about it if you grab on their shirt. Now, like,
You
what?
had to be as a wide receiver. You had to be expected to go across that middle,
Right.
And know, hey, there's a safety coming down. Right?
I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah.
Everybody want to play receiver
I
now,
better
like,
hold
nah,
on.
because I can't get hit.
Better hold on to this ball.
Or quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Quarterback
what
or
I'm saying?
receiver.
Like, I'm not getting hit no more. Like, and if you hit me too hard, you finna get kicked out of the game.
Bro, that's so crazy to me because on the youth level, we're so every day like, hey, we're trying to get that toughness into them. We're trying to get that toughness into, and we're trying to develop that toughness in them. And then by the time they get later on in life, they're trying to coach it back out of him now.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness.
Which I think that's a good,
Real talk, dude.
good segue, right? So we got a question online. How can your player, who may be a top of the line player or what they call a dog, right, get better playing on a team that's already souped up with a bunch of other dogs?
I mean, I think
All of us having children, if your son or your daughter or whatever was playing and they're top of the line athlete and they're playing with other top of the line athletes, are you leaving them on that team? Are they going to improve?
It would solely depend on the coaching.
I was thinking that.
At that
I
point,
don't think it's that either. I mean,
for me personally,
That's a
at
good
that
answer.
point,
That's a good answer.
if my son is a stud and he's on an all-star souped-up team where he's pretty much even with everybody, right? I need to see the coaching. Are you coaching to make them a better player at the mental side of the game? Because at this point we're all the same. So the only way you separate yourself would be through the mental side of things. If we're all fast and we're all strong and we're all big, it's going to come down to who's the smartest, who knows the game the best. So I'm going to look at the coach and be like, are you coaching that? Or are you just, hey man, you're really fast, run that way.
Or you got the other aspect of it too. We talk about daddy ball all the time too. So if you got that, you got that team with the dogs, but you got this coach that's got his, he's got his select players that he wants in these spots, and these other kids are just as capable of doing. Is he giving them the right amount of time to develop those skill sets and be able to sharpen their skills?
Right. I think a player like that, an elite, a dog, on a team full of dogs, a player like that's not going to get better on Saturdays. Like, so I'm gonna kind of agree with you when it says coaching. What kind of coaching do I have? What does our practice plan look like? Is iron really sharper than iron in practice?
Yeah.
Because if you are great, you want to go up against other kids with the same skill set, and not to say if you're better, just to give you a true measuring stick. So I honestly think like it boils down to the coaching and like what kind of practice concepts you have and how are you developing them guys during the week.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, 100%, man. Yeah, definitely. I mean, because a lot of times I think what the biggest problem you see is that when you get a team together like that, the coaching goes out the window because you're just so dependent upon the talent. Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and so it does come back to the coaching aspect of it. Like, how are you improving them? And what Mike, to tag on to what Mike said, it's the intelligence part, the mental part, the learning the coverages, learning the routes, learning tendencies and things like that. That's what's going to make you better. So,
I mean, that would
but
make
I think
you better when you're
but
a
that
dog or
question
not.
that was posted online though is really geared towards maybe because the coaching is piss poor. You're so dependent on how good they are that you're like, oh, you don't need any, just run this.
that's what I kind of was gonna say. I think all y'all kind of hit on it, but I think the only thing y'all might have left out is your kid coachable though? Like you're a dog, but is you coachable though? Like to have healthy, competition too. Like like you just said, what type of player you like? Because he a dog too. Like you curring away from that, or are you? Taking that head on too, like I want to be better, too, like so.
Depend on the.
Can you, are you able to be coached? You know what I'm saying? Can you get better? Like, you know what I'm saying too? Like at the same time, like it ain't always. Sometimes like because we talk about it sometimes too. Like we can coach like great, but also like do you have that player on your team that's able to pull people to those and kind of make people better around them also.
The leaders.
So
Yeah, it's like having a coach on the field, man. If you got some of those, man, it'll make you elite.
For sure.
And they help their teammates get better. That goes back to all that camaraderie and letting them do things together on and off the field too. Yeah.
Yeah, that matters.
In the competition, man, like what you said, dude. What is the competition looking like? If you're a stud team, are you playing scrubs every week? Because you definitely ain't going to do nothing doing that. Like just like I tell our boys, hey, we don't want no scrub teams. We only want to play the best teams. If a team's undefeated, we want to play undefeated teams every week. Like that's the kind of mentality I try to put in their head. Like that's what we want. So when we get in those games and it's a tough game, I look at the boys. I say, "This is what we wanted, right? We don't want no scrub teams, right?" They're like, "Yeah, coach, we don't want those scrub teams." You know, and it's a little more confident.
Hey, because what happens when them teams who don't play nobody when they get deep in the playoffs and they finally run into a team that might not have better talent, but they're disciplined, they're well coached, and they do their assignments to a T.
Yeah.
They get beat, the coach is falling apart, they're fighting on the sidelines, the parents are upset.
transfer portal.
Helmet to the left, shoulder pass to the right.
Oh man.
Where'd our ring go?
Yeah, that part.
Charles getting calls on Saturday.
Listen.
That part.
Sheesh.
Oh man. No, but yeah, definitely. So it boils back down to the coaching and being challenged. Definitely, 100%. So we answer that question. So
be real selective of who you let coach your kids. Try to do that a little bit more. See if they're really out here coaching.
get to know your coaching staff, 100%.
Yeah, I think I heard somebody say it takes 3 to 5 seasons for a volunteer dad to become a real coach.
I mean, that was us though.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds.
That is us. I mean, shoot.
We're about there. I mean, yeah. To really get to where you feel comfortable, seems about right.
I mean, you see, really to see if he can hang around though. If you make 3 to 5 years, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause you got people that coach 1 year and then
In and out.
next year, you know what I'm saying? They ain't coaching, then they might try to come back to it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no consistency with it, so definitely see somebody like for real about it if they hanging around for 3 to 5 years. So.
Right. You gotta have passion for it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it for the right reasons. Like, I hate to sound like a broken record, but you gotta have love for it, man. I mean, to deal with the thing that goes into coaching is waking up, getting a practice plan together, making sure your coaching staff is all together, making sure you guys are all on the same page. And you got to do that just so it reiterates to the kids that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then read it, and these parents are trusting you with their biggest treasure.
Hey, because these kids, even though they're young, they know, they can see, maybe coach don't really know what you're talking about.
If you're unorganized.
He don't really know what you're talking about.
It even starts with the mentality when you walk on the field. Like, you probably had the worst day at work today. Mm-hmm. And at 6 o'clock when you walk on that field, which coach is walking on that field?
Yeah.
The coach that is excited to be here, ready to see his dogs, ready to teach you to learn, or the coach who's had a horrible day and unfortunately I got to be here the next 2 hours.
Miserable.
This is my happy place. When I have a horrible day, I'm looking forward to practice.
I'm trying to tell you, but
let me get out there, boy.
Same here.
Man. Yeah, there's nothing like being out there, man. Especially with the kids, they just give off such a good energy. Like you say, you could be going through everything. It's like what Charles was saying. You getting ultimatums on tables. You go out to the field, you feel, hey, I feel 100% better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just being around the kids and doing something good for them, and then you never know the opportunities that come from that, and then what lives you're touching doing that
about
too.
to say the kids, right?
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, man, you always get, if anybody watching, if you start an organization or you run an organization, if the kids ain't first, you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely.
Doing it wrong.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
One for them, yeah. I mean, what we doing?
Yeah, we wouldn't even be
out here for it, you know what I'm saying?
Man, well, shoot. As soon as I got my first taste on the sideline, like I was coaching on the sidelines, like yelling, hey man, you want to come fill out this application, bro? You telling these linebackers to shift an awful lot over here on these bleachers. You tell them watch the bubble screen. How you know it's a bubble screen? It's football, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I was literally writing out game plans and notes, watching film, giving it to Sherm. Like, hey, watch this. This quarterback fumbles a lot. First play of the game, fumble. I'm also a nerd. Like anything I do, I'm going to obsess about it to the absolute max. That's all I'm going to do.
Right, but let me ask you, how many parents are like that in the stands who are scared to take that leap?
90%.
That would actually be a good fit.
I'm about to say not 90.
That's a big number.
Let me change the number. That would actually be good.
He threw that curveball.
Yeah, that'd actually be good. Probably not too many.
Threw that curve at you.
Probably not too many. I mean, I was scared the first time.
I mean, you gotta be the ones that's doing it for the right reason, though. That's the main problem. Like you said, like
it's hard.
you gotta be doing it for the right reasons. Like,
I mean, that number of the ones that want to but are just scared to is probably high. But the ones that would actually be good, like David said, he threw that curveball at you. But that number, that's
even I
substantially
was a
lower.
little, I waited too long my first year to fill out the little application, and I waited too long. And I was like, all season I'm just watching, like, man, I should have been out there. Why? Then I finally got out there. I just got a little taste of it. I loved it. You know what I mean? I absolutely, especially after I started seeing kids like me telling them, like, hey, if you do it like this is gonna happen. And then it happens, and they're like, coach, you was right. They're like, I'm trying to tell you, boy. I tried to, like.
Then they come back hungry for more.
Yeah, exactly.
What else you got, coach?
Yeah.
You get excited for him.
Or then it just starts building, and then they start looking. Then when you late to practice, like, coach, what you late for? Or you missing practice? Hey, where was you at?
Yeah. Hey, coach, you're late. You owe us a lot.
Yeah.
Accountability, I sure do.
yes, sir.
You right. Man, and I love I love all of it, man. I love the competitive nature of it. I grew up in sports. I love every aspect of it, even not the good parts. I still love it because I love everything totally. You know what I mean?
To come back from it.
You know what I mean?
You gotta figure it out.
I'm not one of those people that pick and choose. If I love something, I love all of it.
Right.
Even the good and the bad. Obviously, we want to get rid of the bad, but hey, man, I'll take all of it.
Hey, you gotta have some. You know what I'm saying? You got good. You gotta have some bad with it. So.
Yeah, I think one of those things as far as coaching goes too is that it just, we're all expressing love for the game, and that needs to be passed on. That legacy needs to be passed on to any player that we get a hold of.
Man.
Because at the end of the day, like, they're gonna remember, they may not remember how you made them feel, but they're gonna, what you said about how they made you feel, right?
Yeah.
That's the same.
Yeah, man.
And they're either gonna have a good experience or a bad one. And one day they're gonna be coaches, or they're gonna coach their own kid or all like that. And it's so important, coaches out there, just to pass on that legacy of love for the game. It's so vital, and you'll be amazed at how just changing a life. It's not even about just football. It's outside of the football too. So.
Bro, it's so real too, because y'all know Jacob. My oldest son, he came out here, played a few seasons. He's not really he's a giant, but he's not into sports. He likes video games, but still to this day, because he came out here and played football, we watch football on Sundays. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we got a football game on, he's going to come sit down with me. He's going to watch, hey, who's winning? What's this? Watch that. And then, even with his little brother, he'll try to give Elwood little tips every night. No, you 3-point stance, you want to get low like this. So it's kind of cool. They have something they can kind of, relate to. And even though he don't really care about playing, he still loves the game because he loved everything that came with it. Right. So he's a fan. He's a fan of football now. And even though he's not going to get out there and run these laps for you, and he's going to make you real mad, because when I tell you he's a giant, he's 6'3", 240 pounds. Like, probably could have did something, but
big for no reason.
Yeah, but he's not out here. You don't run what? No, I'm done.
I got a Jacob that's like that too. Big for no reason.
But even the, like you said,
Jacob boys, huh?
The love of the game is in him. He might not want to play it, but he loves the game. Yeah. And he's already told me, when I have kids, I'm taking them to go play football. You know what I mean? So it's there, crazy, man. It's cool we were able to transfer that over one more generation. Now these little kids, they're going to grow up with their kids. Hey, I'm putting you in football.
Right.
They're just going to keep going, man. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do out here, man.
All day.
The best absolute football experience. That's what we're trying to give, man.
100%.
Yeah.
What else we got? We run through everything?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all checking us out. Keep up with the love. Keep up with the comments. Come back again, man. Behind the whistle.
Hey, behind the whistle, but appreciate you.